Is it a perfect game? Yes, it is! What a start to this Weber Cup!
Welcome to the 888.com Weber Cup at the Barnsley Metrodome. USA have already established a formidable lead, but Europe are fighting back. It's been an amazing start. We've had history-making 300 games and a fight back from Team Europe. They were 5-1 down, but they're on the charge. This is what's happened so far. Team Europe, captained by Mika Koivuniemi, had a rocky start to their campaign. They couldn't stop the force of Team USA, who celebrated 2 300 games back-to-back, which helped them take a 5-1 lead. The second session saw Team Europe battling back, however. In the second Baker match of the event, an open frame from Barnes gave Europe the advantage, and they held their nerve to beat their American rivals, and they took their second point. Following that, it was a doubles clash, and the European duo Dom Barrett and Stuart Williams had one strike off a perfect score to beat the American pairing Mike Fagan and Tommy Jones. This is confirmation of the scores in session 2. Team Europe, who had a poor start to this year's Weber Cup, won the Baker match and the first doubles game, and the USA now lead by just 5-3. Coming next, it's Stuart Williams versus Tommy Jones, and the American will be hoping to repeat his success in his previous singles clash when he hit a perfect score. Before the event got underway, we caught up with Mr. 300.
I started bowling when I was 4 years old, and it was something that my uncle took me to do. Couldn't wait to get out of school and go practice and bowl some games and all that stuff, and it's just something that I've done my whole life, and it's something that I would never trade. When I won the United States Open in 2006, it was just like a dream come true and something that I didn't really think that I was ready to do, and I was fortunate enough to accomplish that goal. I think this is my 7th year bowling the Weber Cup, and something I look forward to every year, and there's nothing like it in the sport of bowling. The name Weber Cup means so much to us because of Dick Weber, what the tournament's named after. He was a great ambassador of the sport, and I got to meet him a couple of times, and he was just always a nice guy. So anytime that he put his name on something, he wanted to come out on top and be the champion. When you put on the colors for your country, you never want to disappoint your country, you never want to disappoint your teammates, and it's just something that means a lot to us. And it's not any different this year.
Team USA determined to hold on to their trophy, but can Europe continue their fight back? Let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, a big welcome, representing Team Europe, Stuart Williams. And now representing Team USA, Tommy Jones. And over to your commentators, Cass Edwards and Andy Bodfish.
Thanks, Tony. So, the first of 2 singles matchups in this second session. They have a couple more doubles to enjoy as well. But first up, Tommy Jones against Stu Williams. Stu, in combination with Dom Barrett, having got the better of Tommy, partnered up with Mike Fagan in the doubles match, which followed the opening Baker, both of which Europe won. The messenger really helps Tommy out in this opening frame.
It was a great looking shot, hits the headpin nice and hard and full. Unique style of Tommy Jones. Hits the 1-3 pocket, leaves the 7-10, but converts them both with that messenger. Great strike to start with, puts the pressure right back on Williams after the frame number 1.
So that's the gauntlet laid down by Tommy. Oh, Stu can't reply. That's a disappointing opening from the Englishman.
Yes, it's 3-6-10 he's left on the right hand side. Not a cluster spare. We're joined in the box by Team USA captain Chris Barnes. Chris, welcome to the box.
Thanks, Cass. Appreciate it.
Oh, crikey. Dear, oh dear. Stuart Williams open frame.
Very open as well. That's a shocker.
Chris, you're averaging 250 your side against Team Europe. It's devastating stuff.
It's been pretty good, but they're on a roll right now and got some momentum. It's important for Tommy to come back here. You know, it's our best player on that third match, and so it's important for him to win this one for us and regain a little bit of our lead back.
Yeah, that's right. Pretty heavy oil on this one?
Yeah, 43 feet, 4 feet longer than the session one, and he plays quite a bit tighter down lane. You saw, especially in the Bakers, everyone was having a hard time getting their ball up. A lot more two pins, light pocket shots, and players have made some adjustments now, and they're getting pretty close. I think Tommy has to take advantage of the early run here. You know, Stu will miss inside on the first frame occasionally like that, but I have a feeling there's a lot of strikes coming for him now.
Yes, we mentioned that just now. It's, all the guys are playing sort of 12 to 15 and just letting the ball roll up to the 1-3 pocket. And it's just becoming a bit of a carry contest.
Well, Tommy, perfect so far. And talking of perfection, Chris, how does it feel to record a perfect game in the Weber Cup? What a moment that was for you.
Yeah, it's always great to, in front of a crowd like this and on TV bowl 300. It's had one in the World 10-pin championships a while back, but it has been a while, and one on the PBA Tour. And you know, it never gets old shooting 300.
Yeah, I did mention in commentary, it's not the first time you've done it on TV.
And not the first time Tommy's done that, actually, in this Weber Cup.
Yeah,
the reset.
Bit of a false start there, managed to hang on to the ball. Very high backswing, there he goes. Does he just lose it there at the bottom of the swing for whatever reason?
Something caught his eye down there.
Yeah,
down to the right. I'm not sure what it was. It looks like it was off our camera, but
we'll blame it on the cameraman, I think.
He's not going to pull a Pete Weber thing and start yelling at anybody in the stands. He'll regroup here. This shot, though, is always a little bit hard. When you hang on to it that long, there's some memory there, and there's a little hitch sometimes at the very bottom that you don't want to really let it go.
Sure, I understand that, but he's going to take his time and regroup, as you say, and it's professional enough to just do that and hopefully not let it affect him. Working 2 strikes in a row, looking for the third one, take advantage of Williams' open frame in frame number 1.
Beautiful, and that is 3 from 3 for Tommy.
He's got that same look again.
Don't even go there. We've only bowled 3 frames.
No, I don't think he's actually going to get it this time. I've seen it when it's really, really good, and the motion through the pins isn't quite right to probably shoot 300. But I think 250 is probably we're looking at minimum 257.
Well, looking from over 60 feet away from where we are, he looks pretty good and pretty lined up.
It's one of the, I think, as sporting observers will say that it's a bit of a cliche. Golfers will say it's one shot at a time, or a snooker or a pool player will say it's one shot at a time. When you're building a perfect game, Chris, how early does the possibility, sort of present itself? I could be perfect here.
Well, I think it just went through Tommy's mind right there. That look that he gave him was, uh-oh, I got it now. You guys are in trouble.
But after 3 frames, normally you'd think maybe 6 or 7 or 8, it would cross your mind. But after 3 frames, Jones is thinking of a 300. Stu made a slight adjustment there with his feet on the approach and absolutely flushed the pocket.
Yeah, he made an adjustment in the middle of that, at the very end of the Baker match, and moved in there. And since then, it's been really good for him. There's a fair chance he could go off the sheet as well. we're missing a pin down there that didn't set the 7-pin this time.
Yeah, the 7-pin was a bit scared. It saw TJ standing there with the ball in his hand and thought, I'm not going to play this game. So this pin spotter will set up 10 in the perfect triangle. Jones will take his time.
Known him for a while. That last shot was pretty flush. He's going to move a little left here. If this one slaps the 10 out, it's going to be on for a big score.
There they are, the 10 little soldiers, the Brunswick boys. Jones looking for 4 strikes in a row.
And getting 4 strikes in a row.
Well, just he tripped the 7 and not the 10. It just went a fraction wide, but got some meat in the back end and just hit the headpin, made everything fly. Just look at this one. It's very light in the pocket. There's the 7-pin. Sweet little kiss right on the backside.
Headpin goes down in the gutter and then pops back up just enough to knock it over. Guess there's a reason for those 520 revs that he puts on it. Certainly the highest rev rate of anyone in the field this year without the two-hander Osku being in the field.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about no lefties. I've always liked to see a lefty in either side, but 8 right-handers this year. Any thoughts on that?
Sounds perfect to me.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're saying. Stu's had a full start. He's going to come back and regroup.
It's always difficult because they're never quite the same on the left and right. And it may be an advantage one way or the other, but you know, unless they're bowling each other, it's someone's always got a little bit of advantage. So.
And Chris, just a word about the Metrodome here in Barnsley and this unique format, single lane. Not something you're necessarily used to the other side of the pond.
No, across the pond we never see the one lane by itself like this. So a very unique setup and one of my favorite setups anywhere, where the crowd can be this close. And here at the Metrodome, they tend to show up in force. So full crowds on all weekend long, and lots of energy buzzing through here.
Yeah, and of course, so it's the 9th year we've been here at Barnsley. They're quite a knowledgeable crowd now. Not necessarily all bowlers, but they've certainly learned the game and got to know you guys.
And they're polite to us, probably more than I would expect after watching some English football matches. They're actually quite cordial.
Yeah.
But, more than I would expect. But they're starting to wake up this morning for sure.
And more polite than you might expect, particularly after last year and the way you blitzed Europe into submission, certainly over the course of that last session. Didn't even need the last session, I might add. The business was done in that penultimate set of singles and doubles. No one quite expected the margin of victory that Team USA were able to produce last year.
Tommy looking for 5. Makes 5. As clean as you like, as clean as a whistle.
Super bowling from Tommy Jones thus far.
Here we see Tommy in full flight. Really high backswing, deep knee bend, long slide. Fabulous follow through. Great balance. And it ends up being a strike. Something he does very often.
No, just not happening there for Stu. Leaving the 10-pin standing. It's another open frame.
It wasn't a bad shot, Andy, but as you say, leaves the 10-pin ringing in the corner, and his score drops again down to a 246 maximum, while TJ is whoops, it's just held on. I thought that might be going for the channel.
Technically it's a little bit light, like a half a board light at 60 feet, but it's really a bad break at this point, and 2 in a row he's got to change his angle going through the pocket to make that shot's got to strike. You can't be leaving 9 on a shot that's that good.